Melvin, Melvin, brother of the Joker. Melvin, Melvin, brother of the Joker. Melvin, Melvin, brother of the Joker. I'm cool. Hello, hi, I am Melvin, the brother of the Joker. Sure love you.
So I saw Joker recently and I really enjoyed it. The film is the new origin story for Batman's greatest clown foe. It's an Elseworld story that isn't set in the DCEU. The film focuses on Arthur Fleck, who has the job of being a clown and has dreams of being a stand-up comedian. In the film, the audience gets to watch Arthur's life slowly spiral out of control until he becomes the Joker. This film is rated R. This film is disturbing and violent. DC definitely took a risk with this movie and it paid off. This film's plot is pretty basic. A lot of bad things happen to Arthur, which leads to him becoming the Joker. This film is about his growth as a villain. One thing that makes this film different from most comic book movies is that it has a villain as the star instead of a hero. But more importantly, this entire film is from Arthur's perspective. Arthur is an unreliable narrator because he is mentally ill. This is one of the reasons I really like this movie. You can't tell the difference between the reality and Arthur's fantasy. This movie is a character study of a mentally ill man who later becomes Gotham's clown prince of crime. When I watched this movie, I felt bad for Arthur Fleck. Part of me didn't want him to be the Joker, but the other half of me did. This is the power of good writing. There are some very disturbing moments in the film once Arthur gets close to becoming the Joker. The scenes made me uncomfortable, but that's not a bad thing. These scenes had superb acting from Joaquin Phoenix. He played the role of a disturbed man very well. As much as I felt scared of Arthur becoming the Joker, once he made the full transformation, I was excited. Joaquin Phoenix definitely solidified himself as one of the most iconic versions of the Joker in that scene where he goes on the talk show. That third act is iconic and will be talked about over and over. It's an iconic Joker scene and it's an iconic comic book movie scene as a whole. It's more iconic than Jared Leto's scene in Suicide Squad where he laughs in a circle of knives. Yeah, that's real subtle, Jared Leto. Yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, you acted like an asshole on set and pulled a prank on a bunch of cast members. Yeah, that's so in character with the Joker. Great method acting, dude. Another thing I really liked about this film is the music. Music by Frank Sinatra is featured in the film. Specifically the songs That's Life and Send in the Clowns. Send in the Clowns was in a trailer for the film. It is also sung by some characters at the beginning of the film, and That's Life played at the end of the film. Joker takes place in the late 70s, back when Sinatra's music was very popular. There's also a very disturbing score for the film that makes you feel uncomfortable. I really like the original score for Joker. It just really gets under your skin. The score for Joker mixes well with the disturbing visuals for the film. The Gotham City in Joker is based on 70s New York. Most of Joker was filmed in New York. In fact, the Joker stairs are located in the Bronx. Apparently it was a location on Google Maps for a while, but since then Google has taken it down. The Gotham City in Joker is a very mean place. Throughout the film, the city becomes more and more chaotic. This film is very much so an origin story for Gotham as it is for the Joker. Joker is a really good film. It's definitely the best comic book film of 2019. I'd even say it's better than Endgame. Endgame isn't bad, it's really good, but I consider that more of an event than a film. Joker, on the other hand, is something smaller scale that tries something new. Joker is definitely one of the best modern DC films. Joker is just as good as The Dark Knight. I wouldn't call it better, but both are equally good films. I like how Joker is a film made by a director rather than a film made by a committee like the earlier DCEU films. I really hope DC takes more risks like this rather than try to copy what Marvel is doing. It seems that they learned their lesson and are now letting directors make films instead of trying to rush a cinematic universe. Joker is a dark, depressing, and crazy film. It's definitely one of my favorite films of the year. Joaquin Phoenix did a phenomenal job and definitely deserves an Oscar for this role. I highly recommend that you see Joker. This movie definitely deserves support since it is trying something new instead of following the comic book formula. This was an origin story I actually liked, mainly because it was a villain's origin story instead of a hero's origin story. The story of how a hero is made has been told time and time again. The story how a villain is made has been rarely told, and if it has been told, it's been in a superhero film. Joker is a really good film. I think that it is worthy of being called cinema. I hope more studios take risks with comic book movies and take them in wildly different directions. This has been ShadeX, and thanks for watching. Hey, it's ShadeX, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to hear me talk about Joker more in depth, well, I did a podcast with A.S.K Air. Click right there if you want to watch that podcast.